Today is a glorious day for all of us in this chamber. As you rightly observed, we've come to a conclusion of a debate on an important national issue, and as Democrats, we accept the outcome of the vote. Speaker, Harry S. Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, delivered a message to Congress on the 8th of August, 1950, at a moment when his own government was under pressure to silence political opponents in the name of national security. This is what he had to say, quote, "Once a government is committed to the principle of silencing the voice of opposition, it has only one way to go, and that is down the path of increasingly repressive measures until it becomes a source of terror to all its citizens and creates a country where everyone lives in fear," end quote. So, Speaker, this describes exactly what happens when a government makes mistakes and its majority for a mandate to go unchallenged, and they describe exactly why a vigilant minority is not an inconvenience to democracy. It is democracy's most necessary instrument. We, the minority, are not here to be managed or suppressed or intimidated into silence. We are here because the people of Ghana sent us here with a mandate that does not expire, simply because we are 87 against 189. Indeed, we concede that numbers determine outcomes in this chamber, like it happened a moment ago. But numbers do not undermine the truth. And truth, Mr. Speaker, is what this minority has guarded, protected, and proclaimed since the 9th Parliament was constituted. As we close this first meeting of the second session, we do not close with relief. We close with reckoning. We close with the weight of what has gone wrong in Ghana on our shoulders, not because we caused it, but because it falls on us to name it, to document it, and to ensure that pages of Hansard carry our descent so that future generations know. In this time, in this chamber, at least one side of the aisle refused to look away. Mr. Speaker, this evening, the minority is not here to observe pleasantries, but to discharge the most solemn duty of an opposition, to speak truth to power without flinching, even as the maize is about to be laid to rest. The Ghanaian people did not send us here to adjourn. They sent us here to hold this government to account. And before we rise, this House and the NDC government must be put on notice that the minority will not be silenced, will not be subdued into acquiescence, and will not pretend that all is well. Mr. Speaker, let me touch on gold. Mr. Speaker, the institution of a gold for reserve program has become a monumental opacity and procurement recklessness. We have recently petitioned OSP, SHRAJ, and the CID over reported 11.9 million single source renovation contract awarded to a politically exposed person under the very CEO who was very hard on previous government appointees and held them to account. Mr. Speaker, the bigger headline is a reported 204 million in losses from the Gold for Reserves program, which vote we just lost. Majority calls them transaction costs. We call them unaccounted public funds, because not one disaggregated line item has been laid before this House. Gross inflows are not a measure of a program's integrity. Net accountability is. The Governor of the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board CEO must fully explain such transactions to the people's representatives. Mr. Speaker, we, the minority, are not against the private sector. Indeed, our values are to promote the private sector. We support any policy by government as the enabler to support all Ghanaian businessmen, whether they are family and friends of the president, of the government, or from abroad. But Mr. Speaker, we demand full transparency in all transactions, especially when this government in opposition was so critical on certain policies of the previous administration. They questioned publicly the conduct of family members of the then president. It is therefore important that even as they are now in office, they must check the conduct of those who are close and dear to His Excellency the President, especially his family members. We are not against the transactions in the Daman acquisition. What we call for is transparency in that transaction. Mr. Speaker, we also demand for a full disclosure of the cost of every flight taken on a family member's private jets by His Excellency the President. We believe that such transparent disclosure will help the cause of democracy. Mr. Speaker, let me touch on the Galamsey. We have become aware that organized labor has raised serious concern about what is happening to our environment. Indeed, recently, His Excellency himself indicated that Galamsey is getting out of hand and certain individuals, even within his party, are involved in such acts. Mr. Speaker, we submit that this is not a president fighting Galamsey. That is rather a situation where the government is protecting Galamsey, because where the commander-in-chief himself is aware of illegal mining and we don't see serious action, then indeed they are not committed. The Pra, the Ofin, and the Ankobra rivers are dying, consumed by excavators operated by people who, by the president's own account, sit in councils of his party. We demand that they be named and prosecuted, that mining in forest reserve be immediately suspended, and that gold balls sourcing chain be independently audited to ensure not a single gram of illegally mined gold enters the reserves program under the cover of formalization. And Mr. Speaker, there is often this rhetoric that anytime the minority raise issues, we hear our friends opposite saying that similar thing happened when our party was in office. Mr. Speaker, this becomes rather repugnant to good conscience. It's as if there is business as usual. But Mr. Speaker, there's a good reason why our government lost power, because they promised a reset.